All right, Zion Media is going to Kirtland.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be going out to Kirtland to basically just do. We're going to do the tour, like the church history tour.
Yeah, Trevor just suddenly decided, hey, on the 28th, we should go to Kirtland. So we're just going there all of a sudden.
Yeah, so we all gathered up at Shane's place. Chad and I are now leaving, of course, to go meet up with Keith, who you'll get to meet later on this whole road show. I guess it's a road and an airplane show. And it's going to be nuts. We're just going to ride up ahead of the rest of the crew, and we're going to go ahead and park at the airport. Those that you don't know, I actually serve my mission in Ohio and in the Kirtland stake. So for me, this is like really, really exciting to think that my mission, which has always had a temple, has a temple again. So we're going to go there and do basically a bunch of tours of the Kirtland Temple. We're going to do a tour of the historic site. We'll probably go to the School of the Prophets. In fact, we have a whole itinerary that we'll basically lay out to you. But right now we're on our way to go pick up Keith, who we thought was actually, he's a fan of Zion Media and has become a good friend. We thought that he actually was at his house, and then he decided to come to Shane's to meet up with everybody else. We were just going to go pick him up. But now we're on our way back. Look at how beautiful this hallway is. Makes me feel like the sun is just shining right through. That's really surreal. Either that or ice. Either looks like an ice room. Look at this. See this?
Yeah, I can see ice.
Yeah, it looks like ice. Or even the ice.
Planets are aligning, stars are aligning, angels are assembling. We're off to Kirtland.
So we actually had a little bit of time to enjoy and just rest before getting on our next flight out of Denver to Cleveland. And Brad was able to sit down and reminisce with me a little bit about my mission and also share a little bit about himself and how he came across Zion Media.
Yeah.
Okay, so
How's it going?
we just ran into Ted and his family, and we're just, here in Arizona and Phoenix, just on a little layover. We're going to be getting on our flight, but I guess you've been watching the show for a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. What would you say has probably been the most impactful thing for you?
Maybe your honest and open approach to everything, all the topics you cover. And, I mean, I'm super interested in like archaeological evidence, history of the Book of Mormon, and so talking about like Hopewell and stuff like that. That's really piqued my interest, and that's kind of what led me to your guys' channel.
Got it.
Watching Wayne Day and Rod Meldrum, a couple other guys, and stumbled on your guys' channel.
That's fantastic.
So,
Yeah, well, we're heading out to Kirtland,
Yep.
and that's kind of that's where everything pretty much started,
Right.
except for the Sacred Grove.
Right.
But when the temple was dedicated, that's where Christ visited, and then you got Moses and a lot. So you got a good portion of the prophets coming to visit there.
Yep.
So we felt like it was time for us to do a little bit of a
Absolutely.
church history visit. So
Yeah.
great. This is a special moment.
Yeah,
To go to Kirtland. Like,
Where'd you go with?
I mean, it's been, 2003 to 2005. 2005 since I was there last. It's been 20 years since I've been back to Kirtland.
yet?
No. Well, they are.
So this is kind of like nuts. And the church owns it. So
board by
I really don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think.
1258?
1250.
Anyway, so how did you know Zion Media? How did you come across?
I'm always searching for good stuff.
So
And I found you, Zion's Media, like,
I gotta keep track of you.
I don't know, like a year ago.
I gotta keep
Oh,
I
really?
track
just
of him.
followed, watched
And then
a
this
lot of your
guy,
stuff. So
tell me your
Last name?
Wade. So
Wade.
Brad Wade.
Brad Wade.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's 12
Very good. And
I know.
what stood out to you about Zion Media?
When you say that's what it says.
Because there's Ward Radio, there's, I mean, you're literally on a trip with us, going to Kirtland. You're not doing this with Stick of Joseph.
I love Shane's story.
Yeah.
And so immediately I was just attracted to this dude. When I really started getting in, I'm like, I'm gonna be friends with that dude.
Yeah.
And then I've got to know you and
See what happens when I say that?
Yep.
You declared it.
Law of attraction, baby.
No.
And so now I'm here. Just so grateful.
That's rad.
Yep.
What do you hope for on this trip?
To just meet new friends, good friends, and just to feel the spirit. I'm excited to go to Kirtland and just I'm just open. I'm just open to everything that we're going to see and the bounds, because I've studied all that stuff too.
Oh, please, yes.
I'm big on that. So
Got you.
Very cool.
Nephi Lamanite stuff, man. Thanks, brother.
No problem.
That's great.
Now's the time to do so and switch those into the airplane mode. Laptop computers will need to be...
Anybody got Brad's number? He's an Android guy, so he can't be in the inner circle yet. Take the apple.
So what are we're just waiting for Brad.
Much better.
Delicious to the taste and more desirable.
How much are we at?
This is David the Lion Douglas.
Hi,
This is
Vicky.
Vicky, my new friend Vicky. This is Trevor Tees, and this is Brad.
Yeah, he's sitting over there.
You're missing, but this is the funniest kid up here. So that's his name's actually not Chad. But we call him Chad. He comes on our podcast. He's like a son. He can memorize everything. And so he has like the entire tell you spot. Elijah, anybody else I'm missing showed up at this site. So we're hoping, we're like, okay, we'd like to meet those guys. Right. And the planets align tomorrow. So we got 7 planets that align tomorrow. It's not going to happen again for another 15 years. So we're like, let's come out and see if we can see Moses. And we'll put it on YouTube. So that's our plan, Vicky. That's what we're trying to do here.
In Cleveland, Ohio. This is some of the grounds I used to walk on as a missionary. And here I am again, 20 years later. You can see the gray in my beard. I'm heading over to the Airbnb. We're gonna actually go ahead and check in on the boys. And we're gonna go through what we're gonna do today.
ABR.
ABR.
Hey, CR, explain to everybody here on camera, what does ABR stand for?
Always be recording.
Always be recording. And the truth is, you are always being recorded in heaven. So everything you do goes into the book of life. So I would ask yourself, what you think you're doing in your secret places, in your closets, it's being recorded. And so if you knew that everything was being recorded, would that change how you interact with people? Would that change what you do in your alone time? I know for me, as I think about that, it changes me. But anyways, okay, here we go. We are, and the reason why CR knows ABR, CR and I shot a show called 1,060,000. We had camera guys on our hip. We were wired every day for 60 days. We recorded pretty much everything, right, CR?
Mic'd up.
Mic'd up. ABR stands for always be recording, because you never know what's going to happen. So we're out here in Kirtland today. Well, we're in Cleveland. Kirtland's what? How far is Kirtland? About 20 minutes away from, I would say, hey, Trev, you tell me, was Kirtland more significant than the Sacred Grove
What
in your mind?
I mean,
Because in my mind it is. I mean,
I don't
both are
know, 'cause
significant.
there's only a couple of times.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. Just
There's only-
turn that down a little bit.
There's only a
Let it
couple
play.
times that God manifested Himself. So to me, I would say Sacred Grove is probably one of the most important visits ever.
So it's hard to say which is more important. So what you're saying is
I think it's more.
both are important.
Kirtland's super important because you had Jesus, Elijah, Moses, Elias come and restore the most keys that the earth had since Jesus' time.
Right. So significant in that way. Okay. So and let's just kind of introduce the crew that we got out here. We got 7 guys for 7 planets, and today is February 28th, and the planets align. Now listen, I know we probably said in a video, this only happens once in every 490 years. Well, I did the research, and it's going to happen 15 years from now, Trev.
Not 8 planets.
7 planets.
7, but 8, no. We have 8 today.
No, there's 7 today.
There's 8.
There's 8.
What?
There's 8.
Ask Gaz.
There's 8.
I thought there was only 7.
There's 8.
Which ones are they?
I don't know.
Let's go pick up another dude.
We are going to have to pick up another.
We know one over at the gas station.
Yeah, we got Jeff over at the
Yeah.
gas station.
Jeff.
Yeah, there's a guy named Jeff at the gas station. CR, explain what happened at the gas station.
Well, we got there and this guy it was really cold. This guy was kind of dancing and Shane could tell I needed food, so took him in and said, find what you want, and bought him food.
How often do we do that, CR, when we
Always.
travel?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
It's part of how we tithe, right?
that's how we roll.
It's how we roll. That is how we roll.
You got something, Chad?
I was just figured something out.
Okay, so introduce the team. Let's start with Brad. Brad, just kind of introduce yourself, who you are, and how you ended up here.
Name's Brad Wade. Been watching Zion Media for a long time, maybe a year-ish, and just kind of drawn to the boys, the Zion boys. So, thank you.
Okay. Keith, introduce yourself.
Keith Coates, also known as Peter. Same thing, about a year watching Zion Media. Just got introduced with the guys and fell in love with the mission, and that's about it. Yeah, excited to be here.
CR, introduce yourself.
Kerry Clark, they call me CR. Been friends, business partners with Shane for, I think, ever. And we got reacquainted.
Sounded depressing. That should be more exciting.
Hey,
I think ever.
listen.
Multiple lifetimes.
Yeah.
Please, no
not
more.
again.
I want to sit down with Abraham, Jacob, and Isaac.
You know how many times I've talked him into coming down and doing this, dude?
Yeah.
He's just like,
And then we got Latter-day Chad over there.
everybody knows Latter-day Chad. But Chad, do people know how you got connected to us?
Dude, I just DM'd Shane on Instagram because I thought he was cool.
He doesn't have his sunglasses on, so he's kind of being
It
shy.
doesn't matter. It doesn't
He's
matter.
being shy.
He's gonna not have his sunglasses. Okay, Trevor?
Hi.
You know Trevor.
I'm Trevor
You
Keys.
know me.
Me, my, am I. Those are my pronouns.
And I'm Shane Baldwin, and you got David Douglas.
Behind the camera. Always be
Okay,
recording.
did we find out? Is it 7 or 8 planets?
It might have been a hallucination if it's 7. You know how they do hallucinations. Let's see what it says. It's important to know that true alignment of all 8 planets in our solar system is extremely rare and occurring today. There are events that include 7 planets occurring less frequently. Today is a rare occurrence. Okay.
So 8.
The next time it happens is March 20th, 2673. The last time it happened prior to this was January 1st, 1665. So it's a pretty big day.
And we're going to be releasing this video on March 5th, which is the day that the church announced that they had acquired the Kirtland Temple. Part of what we wanted to do was come out, be here on this day, this monumental day where all these planets align, and just visit this sacred site that DNC 110, who the prophet a year ago gave a whole talk on DNC 110. And I think the prophet is trying to say, hey, this
Didn't he tell us to read it before conference?
Yes, he did.
He was like, super important, read this before conference. Yeah.
They're trying to tell us stuff. And if we want them to tell us even more stuff, it's on us. It's on us to be more righteous. It's on us to be more of a temple-going people. It's on us to clothe the naked, feed the hungry. It's on us. If we'll do all of that, then it allows our prophet and apostles to be able to prophesy and be seers. So if you want revelation to come from those sources, it's on us. We got to step up our righteousness if that's what we want. So, okay. What's our plan for today?
Okay, here's the itinerary. All right. Friday, 9 a.m. leave. We're 9:04. We're late. 10 a.m. the visitor center opens, so we're going to the visitor center in historic Kirtland. Says plan 1.5 hours. Seems a lot for a visitor center.
Yeah.
11:30 drive to the Joseph Smith home. So there's a Joseph Smith home. 30 minutes. Lunch break. 1:30 Kirtland Temple tour. We've been working with LDS Media Relations with our press pass, trying to get permission to film inside. No one is allowed to film inside. They even gave us a map, this like topographical map of like where we could and couldn't film. And then 3 o'clock, we're gonna drive to John Johnson Farm. I don't know what happened there.
What?
I don't have the
Yeah, it's the HQ of the church back in the day.
Bro, the John Johnson Farm, DNC 76, DNC 88, like some of the most important revelations happened at the Johnson Farm. Now, a little trivia: who knows who was at the Johnson Farm with Joseph Smith when he was receiving those revelations?
Hiram.
No.
Oliver.
No. Come on, CR.
Chad.
Say it, CR. Who was at the Johnson Farm with Joseph Smith? No. Sidney Rigdon. 1831 at the Johnson Farm, I would say, is when. Now, what's interesting is, it appears that in order for Joseph to receive that divine revelation, somebody else always needed to be there. Does that coincide with any scriptures that we know?
Witness.
When 2 or more are gathered in my name, there shall I be also. So Joseph understood this. So whether it was with Oliver, whether it was with Sidney Rigdon, whether it was ultimately Hiram got involved in the mix, he had somebody there, and they would be the scribe. But I think that they were doing more than Joseph Smith understood. Rather than describing, they were helping him receive revelation. And so what we find, even us just gathered here like this, is creating that kind of energy. Anybody have any dreams last night?
Yeah.
Just us being together like this created that. So, John, we're going to go to the Johnson Farm.
Johnson Farm, and then after that says dinner.
Cool.
And then at
when are we going to the Kirtland Temple?
Well, that's at 1:30.
Okay.
But we're supposed to at sunset. We're gonna go back to the Kirtland Temple because that's when the planets align. You're supposed to look at like the horizon, and it starts to go ding, 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 like that.
On Sunday.
Today.
Oh, today. Okay.
Today, amigo.
Okay, so maybe we'll leave from here. We'll go grab some food. Anyways, this is cool. All of this is going to be shot on the iPhone. or most of it. It's amazing. The technology, the world we live in today, so sick. So sick. Okay. Well, and we're watching the little Zion. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to Zion Media Music, go right now. Go subscribe to Zion Media Music. I promise you, if you will listen to this music, it will it change your DNA?
It actually does change your DNA.
It'll change your DNA. How does it do that?
Your telomeres are like your shoelaces, okay? All of us have these little tips on the end of our DNA, and they're called telomeres. And what they do is they start to slowly unthread, and that's what aging does. When you listen to music at certain frequencies, it raises your body's vibration, and it slows the breakage of the telomeres. So it doesn't necessarily change them, but it protects them and preserves them.
Oh, interesting. And all of our music has a certain frequency assigned to it. It has a certain vibration. When we create this music, we're using 432 hertz. I don't know if you guys knew this.
Some are 528.
Some are 528. But
that's the love.
Anyways, I love this song. This is Be Still My Soul.
The Lord is near.
And you can just have it playing in the background when you're cleaning your house or whatever.
Every fear.
This is one of my favorite songs. Such good.
We eventually made our way to the Kirtland Temple, and it was just phenomenal to see again. When we got there, they took us, the two missionaries actually took us up to the top floor and sat us down in one of the meeting rooms that was still there. And they took us through some of the history. They did focus a lot about the workmanship of the temple. They focused on a lot of the things that were in there, like the windows, and also just basically what the temple was used for. They did share some interesting stories in between the trip, but mainly, we just got to enjoy this experience together as a Zion Media crew. And then we also got to say a personal prayer. And in that prayer, we basically got to really have a special moment. And it made this whole trip very, very unique.
Okay, so Latter-day Chad and we're out here at the Morley farm. Isaac Morley and is selling a bunch of the farm to like 50 of the members. And so they were just scrambling. When they're setting up the church, they're all broke. They have no money. He's finding this guy, finding that guy, and they're trying to make it work, and they're trying to make it happen. And I'm sure it was super frustrating.
Dude, I don't know anything about church history, so this is the first I've heard of.
By the way, this house is a private residence, so I can read this. Lucy and Isaac Morley and their children were faithful followers of Jesus Christ. In 1830, they allowed people to build homes on their farm, somewhere on this land. I don't know where those homes are today. You can see over here, it looks like an old brick something that's been destroyed. 7 families lived, worked, and worshiped here, striving together to follow the example of early Christians who had all things in common. Now, what I'd really want to know is, like, as you look over here, it's just farmland. So does the church own it? Like, who owns this land? Why has it not been developed? I feel like every time I go to these church historical sites, when people get kicked out of it, like Missouri to me was like, I don't know, it just didn't feel like things were organized. It just felt, the whole state felt disorganized to me. And to a degree, I kind of feel that out here. And so it's like these sites where the saints get kicked out of it, it's like they're stuck in time and they don't develop. In the fall of 1830, Isaac and Lucy's 15-year-old daughter, Lucy, met Latter-day Saint missionaries about a mile from here. She invited them to eat at the farm. When the missionaries arrived, they found many people ready to hear the message. They declared that the Church of Jesus Christ had been restored to the earth. I think it's interesting. They just put the Church of Jesus Christ right here, not of Latter-day Saints. So I don't know if that was the name of the church at that time. Had been restored to the earth through the prophet Joseph Smith. That night, they baptized 17 people. Soon after that, they baptized more than 50 others, most of whom lived on the farm. The Morleys joined the restored Church of Jesus Christ and continued to welcome people here for a time. this land became the principal gathering place for the Latter-day Saints. Okay, so now they're calling Latter-day Saints arriving in Ohio. Joseph Smith and his wife Emma were among those who lived here. In June 1831, this is an important time. This is when Joseph, 1831, man, he was receiving tons and tons of revelation. D&C 88, D&C 76. In August, he commanded Isaac and Lucy to allow their farm to be sold for the benefit of the church. They did so willingly, and their family moved the next month to Independence, Missouri, another gathering place. So, I don't see much of these houses. So we're supposed to be here. It looks like they've just been torn down. They don't exist anymore. But this is what the Isaac Morley farm that we hear so much about, I mean, this is what it is today. And quite frankly, it's not that much.
Community of Christ building that is kitty corner across from the Kirtland Temple.
Kirtland Temple's literally outside that window.
Thank you. That was the second.
Yeah.
And this is the best Mormon breakfast I've been to because they have coffee, David.
Yeah, it's actually really good. And I haven't had the coffee.
Yeah, they have coffee. I am a coffee drinker. Everybody knows this. So it's really cold, right? It's like unusually cold. Nobody really planned on it. None of us really anticipated it. So, like, I don't know about you, but do you have the right clothing? Outside of just, like, this type of stuff? Like, I don't have a coat, I don't have scarf, I don't have... And it's cold. Like, 19 degrees, wind blowing sideways.
Yeah.
So we just didn't anticipate it being this dang cold, and we had a bunch of outdoor itinerary stuff to go to.
We're going to go to mountains.
The mountains.
Yeah. Kokia.
It's cold for that. Like, so... I think a lot of the guys...
If you haven't been to Cleveland, it really, like, Trevor's not exaggerating. It is we're literally off the lake. Downtown Cleveland is off Lake Erie. It's a nightmare. And when I was a missionary, I even got brain freeze going to visit an old lady that recently joined the church, and I almost, like, passed out because of the cold. We had to go back to the building. It was nuts.
It was strange, even though it says that it's like... I bet it's going to say it's in the 20s or something. Let me see. Just guessing. It says it's 22. But this isn't the same 22 as in Utah.
No, it's not.
That dry cold there. And here, you walk outside and it just like goes through you.
The water and the air literally goes right through the fibers and fabric of your articles of clothing. All layers of it. Unless you have a windbreaker, you have a chance.
Yeah. So we're a little surprised and shocked. Last night, we were up late and it was nice. It was probably like in like the 40s or something. It was like...
I was walking around.
So everyone's kind of scrambling, just trying to decide like, what do we do? I'm going to go home, just kind of bite the bullet, pay a little bit more, go home. Could be home with family, friends, loved ones. And Dave wants me to wrap it up, so I'm going to go twice as long here.
I think Shane and everybody was wondering what we were going to do. So it seemed like they wanted to talk to us. So let's go.
Our last day. It's been a wild ride here. We're here at, it's called The Village. I got David on the other side of this camera. David actually served his mission in this area. We went to the Kirtland First Ward today. David bore an awesome testimony. And somebody recorded it, so maybe we'll sneak it into the video.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
And then we went to the Community of Christ. They had a great meeting there. We partook of the sacrament with them. And now we're wrapping up our trip, and this is called The Village. And you're not supposed to record inside, so we're going to be taking pictures. But we're going to go in the visitor center.
For almost a year, but then he decided if I'm going to preach against it, I really should read the Book of Mormon and understand it better so that I can be more accurate in preaching against it. Well, he came back here, he worked for the Whitneys, and he read the Book of Mormon, and he became converted and was baptized.
What was his name again?
Orson Hyde.
Oh, okay, great.
And he became one of the first original 12 apostles of this dispensation. He became one of the instructors for the School of the Prophets. And he also went on a couple of missions. One was to England with Heber C. Kimball, and then he left from Nauvoo in 1841 to go to the Holy Land. And when he was in the Holy Land, he dedicated that as a place of return for the Jews and a place for a temple.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think Orson's kind of cool to learn about.
Let's move into the parlor.
Let's go ahead and you can sit in there.
This is called the parlor, and this is where the prophet worked during the 15 months that he lived here in the store. He finished the inspired translation of the Bible here in this room. And I don't know if you guys know this, but many of the sections from the Doctrine and Covenants came because the prophet had a question that he had out of the Bible, and he took it to the Lord. And the Lord often gave him a revelation that became a section in the Doctrine and Covenants. And some of the important sections that were received during the time that Joseph lived here, he received 15 sections, by the way. He received section 84. Anybody know what 84 is? It's the oath and covenant of the priesthood. Section 88, in part, is the command to build the temple. Section, and to start the School of the Prophets, which we'll go into in just a few minutes. He received section 89. Anybody know what section 89 is?
89 section. Hey, Chad.
Word of wisdom. Very good. Yes, that was received here. And he also received section 95. Section 95 was a rebuke to the prophet and to the saints because they hadn't jumped right on it, building the temple. Around 6 months' time, we all by for the time they began to build the temple and they didn't start. You have to remember these people were farmers, they were tradesmen, they were shopkeepers. None of them had ever built a temple.
Yeah.
So another part of section 95 that was received here in this room was a vision that Joseph Smith, along with Frederick G. Williams and Sidney Rigdon had, and that was a vision of the temple, the Kirtland Temple. They were able to see the temple from the outside, and then somehow it expanded, and they were able to look at it from the inside, so they knew what to do. They were able to draw up plans to build a temple. You can. Nope, the tree's probably blocked.
It's like three trees.
I've had a man ask me, who was the architect for the Kirtland Temple? It was Lord, because he gave the vision of the Kirtland Temple to Joseph and Sidney and Frederick G. Williams here in this room. The temple was built and finished in March of 1836. And the people became the kind of people that the Lord needed them to receive that endowment of power. Go ahead.
Did they go to, I forget what it's called, took all them into Missouri to...
Zion's Camp.
Yeah, Zion's Camp. Did that leave from here?
No.
That left from, they were living up in their house.
No, but I mean, from Kirtland.
Oh, yes,
It did.
yes.
It did leave from Kirtland. You bet.
What's Zion's Camp?
Zion's Camp, Joseph received revelation that the saints in Missouri were being run out of their homes. And so he and the other church leaders got together and they formed a group of about 100 and some odd men and a few women to go with them, and they were going to Missouri to liberate the saints. So basically a small army. Well, it turns out they didn't do any fighting. They didn't liberate Missouri. It was basically a training ground for the 12 apostles and the quorum of the 70.
So you're telling me that there was no need for the Zion's camp at all?
There was a need.
Oh, there was.
It's a training.
It was just practice.
The major purpose of the Zion's camp was to train the leaders who became the apostles and the 70 of the church.
Okay, because it sounds like they didn't really do much besides that.
They marched out there and they learned a lot.
Heavens opened and things like.
They saw some things. They saw some things that witnessed that God is in control.
Because men from Missouri were coming to meet him. They were going to have this fight. And then the heavens opened and rained around. They all went back and went home.
Missouri is quite low, and then I think nobody was. You guys, I have a suggestion for all of you. Have you read The Saints, the first volume of The Saints?
No.
It will give you some of the best information. You can listen to it on
it's on your phone.
audio, and it will tell you
We should
all
do a
those
whole
details,
series on that.
But it's kind of in
Heath
story
Durst.
form, so it's easier to understand.
TBN series.
So, yeah, The Saints. I would, and you can get it on your gospel
On that
library
page,
app.
right there, this is what it says, awake ye drunkards and weep and howl all you drinkers.
Did
Why?
you?
Because of the new
You're
wine,
smarty.
for the new wine, it is cut off from your mouth. For nation is come upon this land strong and without number, whose teeth are the teeth of a lion.
Like a lion.
Hey, so this is open to Joel chapter 1.
Okay.
Joel chapter 1 says, awake ye drunkards and weep and howl, all ye drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it is cut off from your mouth. For a nation has come up upon my land, strong and without number, whose teeth are the teeth of a lion, and he hath the teeth of a great lion.
And that's about the Lion of Judah.
It's pretty cool.
Plus, this is on page 888, and the number outside the door down there was 888 as well. So it's just, do you think they opened it up on purpose to that, or?
Does that just stay open to that? Has that been like that since
We're
you've
not
been here?
supposed to touch any of this stuff, so we never touch.
So it just stays open to that nonstop.
Maybe President Nelson left that here as like a secret
This
coded
goes,
message or
this is a
something.
PF line. Remember I talked about the fig tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These aren't original forms, they're like here.
That's Latter-day Nelson leaving signs. and stuff.
Oh.
They would have fireplaces, of course.
You should have told me that we were going to come to this room.
I should have.
Yeah, I thought we were not going to come,
Oh,
so
no.
because you told me to leave, so that's a lesson.
Okay, we are going to close the door, and then we'll have a captive audience. And I'm going to tell you like I would tell a group of kids in Sunday school. Put your phones away and let the Spirit lead them. It's okay.
There you go.
That's the girl.
Thank you.
Good luck with that.
Let me try. Oh, mother.
It's okay, we're here at the
Over here?
Hey, so we just got done with the Kirtland First Ward, and we're just doing a little extra of, I'll call this Keith David in the Field. Is that cool, Shane?
Yeah.
And then we're heading to the Community of Christ. We are just arrived in the parking lot. Dude, it was the day of Pentecost.
5 cars here.
Yeah, 5 cars. But it was a day of Pentecost of these days, literally at the Kirtland First Ward. And it's been 20 years since I've been there. So
Okay, we need to figure out what time the store at.
yes. Hey, can you find that out, Keith?
I can do that.
Yeah, because your strength is finding out times and schedules and all that fun stuff.
All right. It's freaking cold.
It is cold.
That's all I know.
Keep your hat.
I would.
You can take it off inside.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what do you guys think this is going to be like?
Hey.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cold.
Tell you what, it's cold.
Somebody figure out what time the village opens?
Yeah, okay, I'll do it.
What's the village? Have you heard of the village?
Like the new K. Whitney store or whatever it is.
Hey, Shane, please, let's go to School of Prophets. It literally,
We're going to the.
I know, but when we get in there, we got to go to that room. That's where I started my mission.
Really?
20 years ago. All of the missionaries with the president and stake patriarch. Oh my goodness, and I'm just so bearded now. It's like so different now. I should get trimmed up like you. Thank you.
It's cold in here.
Thank you.
Cold.
Thank you.
if there is a point to everything and if there are no coincidences, why would it be like this? Chad, give me a smart reason why it would be like this.
Because even a filthy vessel can be used.
I love this guy.
Shane. Oh, Shaner.
He said it's a message. Trevor. Dude, tell these guys what's on the license plate. Do they know that?
333 is on.
Trevor, look at the license plate.
I got revelation.
Just come out of here and look at the license plate.
222 or 333? 333. And when we saw that, as soon as I was saying, hey, that's a message to Trevor, so you know that it can be used. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So no discount.
Isn't that my bath number? Aren't I 7, 33, 8, 16? Yes. 7, yes.
Yes.
We got that stinky ass mark for me. I think it's symbolic.
Yeah,
That's the point. Even a filthy vessel can be used, Trevor.
So what? So
Is this your first mission?
No. So you get to get grilled twice.
Oh, they've
I
already
asked
gone
him
through
all
this?
these same questions.
I didn't get the first mission question. So no, it's not. We were in San Diego, our first mission.
Oh.
What did you do there? Proselyting
We
or?
were doing at the Mormon.
Italian.
Okay.
Have you been there before?
I have. It's awesome.
Yeah, we loved it.
We were helping people pan for gold and not tear the place down.
Okay.
Nice.
And then you served your mission in England?
No, Philippines.
Oh, the Philippines. Okay.
Wow.
I thought maybe that's why you were asking.
Do you still know Tagalog?
Well, we didn't. We weren't taught Tagalog. We taught in English.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that left
We
out a
just
lot
found
of.
out
So
the street
Dave,
from
Yeah.
Dave, just you can just take pictures.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
Gotcha. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I've got
We,
it
we have
set up.
we have the fastest growing, all variety. You know, in the temple they say all varieties. We do that with music too. We make all varieties of music, from rap to country to.
Pop.
I do love rap too. You would love this rap.
No, you really would.
You would love this rap.
you would
This
love.
rap is Jesus rap about Zion.
You-
Okay.
You'd want your kids to listen
You would
to
want.
this rap.
I mean, we're creating
For real.
music because we recognize all varieties, right?
I love country too.
Yeah, we do country. We make every variety of music, but it's all based on building Zion, the Savior, positivity.
What's that group from Nashville?
Our president allowed us to listen to on our mission, so
Where did you go on your mission?
El Salvador, Belize, and Guatemala.
Okay. So they, in Kirtland, where did we figure out that was gonna be? What time? June?
Yeah, it's in June.
In June, they have what they call the Strawberry Festival, and we give a lot of service there. It's a big moneymaker for the Lions Club.
Oh.
And,
What's the Lions Club?
It's a service organization.
Okay.
But last year we had the Nashville Tribute Band come.
Oh, very cool.
We're still waiting.
Very cool.
Oh, you're still
They're really
on
good.
that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, that's right.
Come in.
Okay, we're all
So
here now.
everyone just decided to hop on a plane and come to Ohio.
Yeah, it was pretty sudden.
You know what today? You know today's a very important day, right?
No?
In church history, 190 years ago, Doctrine and Covenants section 107 was written in Kirtland.
This is when the 70 was called.
That's right. And also, do you know what else is happening today?
No. I should.
Trevor, are you on the phone? So this will only take place 490 years from today, and last time it took place was 1665. But there is a planetary alignment that's happening today.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
To 7 o'clock, you can see them all.
Wow.
You know, like that movie, like the Hercules
We
movie.
can
the
elongate
Disney
this
stuff, where all
tour.
the planets-
So we figured, listen, if Moses, Elias, Elijah, Jesus all showed up, of all the times that they could show up again, the 28th seemed like a pretty good day. So we decided to come out here and see if we could witness it for ourselves.
Oh,
so that's
so
at
you need to be
6:15.
out of here then by that.
Yeah, we need to be back in Kirtland by
This would be the
6:15.
Okay.
best time. It's open. You got to just do it here.
Yeah.
6:15. You know what time it is?
It's 3 o'clock.
I know.
Not even.
I'm
3
sorry.
yet.
These are wonderful men, but I don't want them to stay here till 6:15.
You know, we're really happy to have you because we don't get a lot of visitors at this time of year.
Oh, yeah?
We are
Just 'cause it's
tired-
cold?
We are sick and tired of giving the snowplow guy tours.
Well, you've got a whole crew.
We do. We thank you for
Well,
coming.
this is fun.
Does anyone know the reason that the Johnsons came here?
No.
And where did they come from?
And who are they? The sons of John.
I don't know, but I know some of the most amazing revelations took place right where we are right now, if not the most amazing.
So, can you think of a name more common than John Johnson?
Nope. Pretty common.
That's pretty
Anybody?
Maybe throw like John Smith.
I think John Johnson
My mom
might be
used-
the
my
most
mom
common.
used to sing
I
it.
think John the Beloved probably has been to this farm.
That's pretty not uncommon though. That's
I mean-
uncommon.
I mean, like, you never know when someone like that showing up in disguise.
Well, I was fishing for Joseph Smith. That's a pretty common name too.
That is a common
And
name.
we would not be here today for the fact that Joseph and Anna lived here for exactly 1 year in September 1831 to September 1832.
Wow.
On the same date. I'm not sure what that date is.
12th.
12th. And the Johnsons get here. I thought this was interesting. They are from a place called Pomfret, Vermont. You always say that. You always
I forgot to turn my phone off. I'm so sorry.
No worries. It's a prophet.
Okay, my phone's been acting up the whole
If it's
day.
about a grandchild, take it.
No. No, it's okay.
That one's having a birthday today. But
Yes.
anyway, they were from a place in Vermont called Pomfret, Vermont. And I looked that up. Where in the world is this place? It is 7 miles from Sharon, Vermont.
Where the Smiths.
So they were farmers, and they get here the exact same reason that the Smiths leave Vermont and go to Western New York. It's that volcano, that pesky volcano down in Indonesia in 1815 that erupts, and by 1816, when the gases are all the way around here, they have in Vermont, probably here in Ohio, a year without the summer. They have a killing frost every year. In fact,
Every month.
Every month. In fact, in June, it snows.
Wow.
So, can you imagine you're buying seed, you know, it's over, the worst is over, and it's dead, and you go out and you buy more, and you plant it, and it dies, you kill it. But if it wasn't for the fact that they had rocky ground there, and their topsoil wasn't that thick, they probably wouldn't have come here. But it was, and they did, and they came to the Western Reserve here in Portage County, Ohio. And they get here in 1818. So about 2 years after this event happens in Vermont, they decide to come out and try to get it a little better here, see if they can do it. And they do, they're prosperous. They come out here with about 40 people, 8 of them are their kids. They bring 8 kids from Vermont. And they come in better circumstances than the Smiths go to Western New York because they have a farm to sell. And they sell it, and they buy this initially 100 acres here.
Wow.
And across the street is part of their acreage. It's not, the church doesn't own it today. But
Who owns it? Just private?
I don't know who owns it, but the church owns from this on down to, they have a large farm here. So Stake Center over here is on church property, the house in the middle is on church property. Anyway, they come here, and there is an existing log cabin right across the street. And they refurbish that, and they live in that log cabin for 10 years.
Wow.
And in that 10-year period, they have 6 more kids.
Wow.
And 4 of those kids die in infancy, and 2 of them grow to adulthood, so they got 10 kids living here. And then they move into this house. This is kind of their dream home, but they're kind of empty nesters too when they move into here. And they move in here in 1828, and they live here till 1833. And my wife down the road will tell you that about them. So we're going to tell you how the Johnsons and the Smiths got together. We're going to show you inside the house. We're going to show you some of the things that they discovered as they were restoring the home, and some significant revelations that happened in the home, and some events that happened in the home.
Cool.
So just ask us a question. So please do not stand, sit, or lean on anything that looks old, and that includes the missionary, okay? And you're welcome to take all the stills that you like. We ask that you don't film us or record us. So we'll be good.
Okay. Sounds good.
But we're in the carriage house. We're not quite ready to go in yet.
Okay.
We're in the carriage house, and this is John Johnson's carriage. It had a dirt floor here, like a wagon. This is their garage.
Very cool.
John Johnson had a carriage so nice that it got the attention of the tax collector.
Really?
Yeah, and so he had a registered vehicle. Don't know if they gave away plates that time or tags, but the tax collector knew about it. And if you look up and behind you, mostly you can see the original beams on the house with the wood still on them.
I don't know, but they do.
Huh. Did Peter in 2,000 years ago have bodyguards?
They had
He's a very New Testament guy.
Peter was a bodyguard.
Did they have bodyguards back then?
Yeah, Peter was one cutting off people's ears.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. They were like the bodyguards for Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
But he thought this was probably Joseph's most terrifying moment in his life.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was chaotic, it was loud, it was violent, and Joseph got a significant side injury that bothered him the rest of his life. Sidney was delirious for days afterwards and was quite never the same again.
Do we know how big Joseph Smith was?
Like
do we know his
6'1".
size?
6'1" or 2".
Probably a good fighter.
He did.
Yeah.
He kicked one guy, bloodied
Because
his
they were
nose.
trying to get out.
He should have just stretched forth his hand like Nephi and shocked him.
If you're a salad person, our salads are amazing. All of our pizzas are made in our Firestone oven. Yeah. So, I mean, we've got a few good options. Additionally, we do have tomato tortellini soup with a kick. So the sausage we use in it has a little bit of a kick to it, so that's why we warn you it's got a little kick. I'm sorry, am I in your seat?
Admiring.
So yeah, we've got a lot going on. If you have
Trevor,
any
this is the
questions,
city Lorenzo Snow comes
Oh
from.
my God, I just want to eat her.
Awesome.
yes. Can I get you guys started with some drinks? We have Coke products, sweet tea, unsweet tea. I can get you some fresh water from the river.
That's what I want.
Okay.
Coke Zero or Diet?
Wait, both.
Coke Zero with the lime for me.
Got it. We don't have lime, I'm sorry.
Lemon?
Lemon. Got it. Coke with a lemon? Zero. Water, lemon? Okay.
Water with lemons.
Okay, I'm gonna bring a little dish of lemons out.
Yeah, that's great.
Did I grab your drink?
I'll have Coke Zero.
Coke Zero, okay. And for you?
What drinks do you see?
Coke, Coke beers, right?
Do you have like any like
I'm gonna do a hamburger, but I'm gonna make my own.
Yeah, lemonade?
Because I don't like caramelized onions. I'm gonna go difficult.
Caramelized onion.
Not on my burger. I love caramelized onions. Just not on the burger for some reason. I like raw onions
Yep, those are good too.
on the burger. Are we ABR? Hey guys, Zion Media here, reporting live from Main Street on the river. We just got done at the Johnson farm. And I'm actually disappointed about something that I'd like to talk about. We have gone now to the Kirtland site, and the missionaries are awesome. This isn't a knock like on the missionaries. I'm not sure if maybe they were told to do this or what, so I don't know. But when I was on a mission, I know when he was on a mission, anytime that we met with, whether it was a member or any non-member, it didn't matter. We always started with a prayer and we closed with a prayer. And after visiting both of these sites, we didn't start with prayer or end with a prayer. And I just feel like prayer's like really important, especially when I was on my mission to invite the Holy Ghost to be there. And so I'm a little frustrated, honestly, that like they're not opening and closing with a prayer. So maybe somebody can help me out in the comments. Maybe that's something we don't do now as the church. I know we don't call ourselves Mormons, so maybe we don't open and close with a prayer in missionary work now. And I haven't been a missionary in 20-something years, so maybe something's changed since I've got out of prison and I don't know it. You can just post in the comments and just tell me and just kind of bring me up to speed on how we do things today. I don't know, David, what are your thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts about that?
Boy,
record yourself.
Yeah, I'm a little worn out. I was just in two amazing spiritual places, and I'm trying to gather myself. But yeah, I thought it was interesting, and it escapes me. Like I felt like I got a download while I was there, and I just thought it was interesting.
Amazing experience. Just because we didn't open and close with the prayer doesn't mean
Still
it wasn't
amazing.
spiritual and
Still
amazing.
amazing.
It's just like kind of mind-boggling to me.
Well, I felt like they could have talked more about scripture. That was the biggest miss for me, is they were talking about the furniture, they were talking about like the people, which was great to hear some of the stories and their connection to faith.
You wanted more doctrine.
I wanted doctrine. I wanted them to help me feel like I was actually there with Joseph or the people that were involved.
What do you think, Peter?
I think starting with a prayer. I think inviting the Spirit is never a bad idea, and then letting it guide you. So, unfortunate. It's kind of weird.
Trevor, any thoughts? Well, he's busy. He's in Babylon right now. He's got his headphones in. He's not even like we're doing the tour, and Trevor's making sure that the businesses are running. This is what it looks like. He sent me a text. He said, "You make sure you cover the spiritual stuff. I got Babylon." I'm like, "All right, sounds good." So that's the program. LDC. Any thoughts based on what you've seen? What you felt?
I don't know, man. I felt like
you were showing me some stuff in DNC 133.
Oh yeah,
like
sick. DNC 133 talks about the fulfillment of Malachi 3, and then that's when the people from the North Country come.
Almost.
Nice.
So I learned the trick of catching flies with your hands. A fly in slow motion takes off backwards before it goes forwards. So if you come behind it, no, you got to come behind it. So when you swipe it, it comes back into you. You can catch them. Dude, my biggest catch was 5 in one swipe. But I was in Africa, so there was. I could have just gone like this.
So my stepson went to Tonga, and the Tongans would catch a fly like that, eat them. They eat them.
Protein.
Intelligence.
Definitely intelligence.
It's flies.
Who knows what intelligence though?
I hate flies.
Okay. Any other things, LDC, you got? Any other truth bombs you want to drop for? Are you guys feeling like zapped?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm feeling zapped. I don't know if it's because I've been crying or what, but I'm feeling a little zapped. Hey, what's up?
Need juicy ones?
Occasionally go to one. I go to
What do you think I should order?
He goes, yeah.
Egg burger.
After the whole trip was done and we went to church, went to the village, we actually had some final moments where we were able to go and see some mountain sites. Here they are. Hey, Shane, talk about the heap earth.
We are here at some ancient Nephite, Jaredite, Lamanite site. We drove 2 hours to come and see this heaped earth. I'm stoked. I think Alma the Younger might be here. So we came out here to look at the heaped earth. Unbelievable. Absolutely beautiful heaped earth that you're looking at here. Ancient heaped earth.
You might find some answers.
Definitely Heartland vibes. Definitely. Book of Mormon's true. Look at this.
Can we walk up here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So guys, they heaped up this earth like it says in the Book of Mormon. And then on top of these, there would have been walls.
Timber walls.
Timber walls. And they would have like filled them in with clay so they couldn't get burned.
Oh, yeah, I've seen Wayne May standing right in the middle of this. My friend Michael P. Hey, you got up here just well. Hey.
Hey, dude, you know how long it would have taken whoever did this?
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
So then what? So then what would happen? What's the story?
This is their little city, and they were being protected by the enemy.
Could it perhaps be the... You don't know Zelf Mound? Joseph Smith talked about it, dude.
Dude, I don't know anything about... I didn't even know what a Heartlander was until I started Zion Media and somebody asked me. I didn't know anything. I didn't know any Book of Mormon geography because I think it took place on Pluto.
Wait, let me see it. Okay.
Come out. How long is the walk? I'm cold. Can't do this too long.
Okay,
we don't have to walk very long.
We're getting some content here for Zion Media. So tell us, David.
Okay.
What are we looking at here, Mr. Ancient Answers?
Freaking out. I'm excited. Okay, so the Zion's Camp march had Joseph Smith and a bunch of people that were going to be called as apostles, and they stopped along the way. And Joseph said, after they found a skull, that skull was a Nephite that was protecting.
At this spot?
Not at this spot, but this is connected.
How is this connected to that story?
Well, it's connected because all of the earthworks were said to be done by a group of people, and
Is these done by Jaredites?
I believe that this was Jaredite people, but the Nephites came in and used their land according to the Book of Mormon.
Okay. What is it? Is it like a park now?
No, it's a museum area. I mean, nobody uses it. It's not like they have a barbecue.
They really randomly planted trees. Whoever did this, they're like, yeah,
No.
let's do one here.
These are dead bodies, and then sprout up as trees.
Huh?
Yeah, the trees will grow right out of a body. You don't believe that?
He's just making that up. He's just making
There's
that
a
up.
museum. There's a museum right over there.
That was a good one,
That was
Dave.
too far from Brad. He's like, I don't know that.
Well, hey, we went to Morrell Ranch in Missouri, and the owner of Morrell Ranch found a skeleton at the bottom of a tree that his daughter had found. And there's some talk of people that because your body turns into waste for the earth, and it becomes, nutrients, and a tree can't, as long as there's a seed there, they'll grow. But at least it has some nutrients to grow from. The nitrogen that your body would create. Maybe I'm making that up.
No, I
Yeah.
can see it.
So I'm not a scientist. I just edit video. Let's go check.
How old time do you have?
Enough to check this building. We can bounce.
Okay, just making sure.
Anyway, hey.
Just so you know, I hate this kind of stuff. I hate it. I don't like doing it. It reminds me of stuff my parents would make me do. And I hate it. I don't like museums. I don't like any of this.
How about like pyramids?
No, I don't like it. How about Egypt? Don't
Hey,
care.
you like Monte Alban though.
I like that song, Siri. No, I mean, I'm just like, Monte Alban was cool, but it's so much work. Like,
work.
I want to show up, play 18 holes of golf, and go chill.
Yeah.
That, to me, perfect day.
I think I'm gonna remember
I go
this
play
look
18
forever.
holes and then go to dinner with my wife. Perfect day.
Shane Baldwin came out in his little layered up sweater, green and brown, to go look at some heaped earth.
Heaped earth. Let's go see some heaped earth. That's a good idea. Hope you're enjoying this content here on Zion Media. Honestly, I'd rather be reading the Book of Isaiah.
Come on in, we're open. No soliciting though.
See if you can sell them the warm.
Oh,
Let's see.
oh, good. It's warm now.
It is warm.
Hello.
Hello. Good. How are you guys?
Oh my gosh, it's cold.
Can you tell me, what is it we're looking at here?
You are looking at a site that was constructed 2,000 years ago.
2,000 years ago. Wow.
Wow.
Is it? So somebody told me, and I'm trying to prove them wrong. Maybe you're going to confirm. They said they're Mormons, and they said this is a Mormon site from the Book of Mormon. Can you confirm that or deny that? It's not. That's what they claim. They're like, for sure, this is, they call them Nephites or Nephites.
Nephilites, yes.
Nephilites?
Yeah.
Do you know about
Nephilim.
Nephilim?
Oh.
The giants.
Yeah, so
Is that what this was, the Nephilim?
No.
some Mormons believe that those are Jaredites in these parts.
Oh, the Jaredites. Okay.
Yes. No,
Okay, so teach us what this actually is.
Okay, you're actually at a site here, part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site, that was constructed 2,000 years ago, pushing about 7 million.
Oh, are these Native American sites?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Constructed by people that we refer today as the Hopewell culture. That is not what they call themselves. But these people were constructing geometric earthworks at this time, 2,000 years ago. And we have sites both here as well.
What were they doing? Why were they?
These were gathering places, ceremonial complexes. This was not a fort.
A lot of people think it's a fort.
Well, you see, this one right here specifically, you can look at it. You notice there is a ditch on each side.
Yeah.
It goes all the way around.
But you could walk in right here.
You can.
This is a crappy fort in my mind.
And whoever built this failed how to build a fort exam.
You're my kind of guy.
Because you have a moat on the inside.
Yeah.
And so the enemy could have the high ground.
Right.
And you can't get to them right away because there's water in the way.
So it's a ceremony.
So it's a gathering place, a ceremonial complex where people met, exchanged ideas, celebrated.
Would it be like a like their temple, something like that?
I
And
really
have
don't.
teepees and
we don't know
stuff?
exactly what came here. We know that people would gather here. We know that in the center of this space right here, there was, instead of those mounds you see in the distance there, actually kind of like the equivalent of a Shawnee or a Delaware longhouse.
Okay.
With a large fire pit inside of it. Because they deconstructed that building after the site was no longer used and then built mounds at the front and back of it, we can infer that probably they were kind of doing the old tip of the hat to say that whatever was happening here was probably something that was a sacred place.
Gotcha.
So-
what do we got back here?
We have timelines for humans in Ohio, some 3D images of some.
How long ago are they dating back to people that were living in this?
In Ohio, probably about 13 to 14,000 years ago.
13 to 14,000 years ago. Whoa.
So the last ice age was receding out of Ohio and allowed them to occupy this space. And they were following the expanding migratory patterns of mammoths and mastodons during that time period.
Oh, there's that Olmec head.
I have a question. Is there any evidence of like timber that was on top of that? ridge that we were just pointing at outside? Timber? Like
Oh,
wood?
no, this was a site that was completely devoid of
of any wood or
any
anything.
woods,
Yeah.
even within eyeshot of the area.
Oh, got it.
Hey, look here. What's a birthday without a cake and, for sure, you know, and a party after you follow it? We're just that kind of people. We like celebration that surrounds ceremony before, during, and after, you know. Yeah. Even in funerals, we celebrate a person's life. We celebrate the fact that they're no longer suffering. We do things that celebrate both things that we remember and dance for the person that would have probably been on our dance circles just the week before, kind of thing. So, yeah, we would have done all those kinds of things. So, it's not to say that these people were very, very, very,
Do you have artifacts here?
very serious.
Yeah.
They
took things. Yeah.
They took things. It was a hard life.
It was important still. Yeah, this is important to them.
And people came here and they brought things for offering, and they went back home just like you and I would do when we go to, you know, Disney World or Kings Island. We go back home with a souvenir, don't we? Well, they went back home with a souvenir here. It was a one-of-a-kind material that's only found in one place on the earth. It's called rainbow flint.
Oh.
And rainbow flint is a one-of-a-kind flint that's only found here in Ohio, 11 miles to my east.
Oh.
But we find little bits of it all over North America because people brought it back home with them. And this kind of flint was the inspiration for the state of Ohio back in 1965 to designate flint as the official state gemstone.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'd like to see some of the artifacts.
Well, we have a few artifacts right here in the cabinets. So these were found in the site here.
And when you go to an event, he's like, you want to bring something home, a souvenir. So he said that this to show that rainbow flint, this is what they would go and bring back. This is unique to Ohio.
It's a rock? Yes, it's flint. Just like flint rock, right? Flint is actually a steel. Yes, when you strike flint, it's steel. It's the steel that goes back.
Rainbow flint on the Bible.
Hey, shark teeth. There's shark teeth here.
Shark teeth?
Yeah, shark.
Yeah, that's actually a megalodon tooth.
Down here?
Yep. Well, 880 miles, the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, it was brought up here. It was
It's still found here, though. That's the thing.
not personally, no. I know that
all represented in one spot. So implying that it is a ceremonial site. Now, whether or not that means they had one specific ceremony.
It took a lot of effort to build this, especially if it goes on for 20 people. I mean, there's serious effort back in the day.
Question: do you have
moved off because of federal regulations to remove all funerary objects from display?
funerary?
Yes.
Interesting how the government just like takes it and just.
Oh, well, it was pushed by, it was agreed to by Native Americans to say, we don't.
Yeah, we don't want our stuff here.
Well, not so much that was, how would you like it if that's documented in the Octagon?
Wow.
The maximum southern. And then 9.3 years later, we have this maximum northern becoming eventually this alignment called a minimum.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we have an alignment here at the same time called the minimum southern.
Pretty great.
So not only do we have astronomy at this location, and it was used because they were honoring the moon, which for them was not a rock floating in the sky reflecting light sun. It was living. It's grandmother moon. but we also have geometry. They were mathematicians as well. So this circle right here, you can use this circle at this location to map out where these locations are and how they're related to each other. So that circle, that distance across, you go from the center point here, that distance across times 6 gets you from the center point here to the center point here.
Where do you think they learned all this math?
I have no idea.
That's freaking crazy.
This diameter times 6 gets you from the center point here to the center point here.
Oh my gosh.
This distance right here to find the center point of the octagon is all you have to do is go to the center of the edge of the circle and get you to the center of the octagon. That distance across is also every other mound. These are mounds.
That's crazy.
They say that this was like Egyptian math.
And then this perimeter right here, that is exactly equal to the circumference of this circle.
Oh my gosh.
Have you heard that before? How some people say it's Egyptian math?
I don't.
Have you heard the thing about the Giza pyramids math related to that?
No.
Yeah, because of the true north, they basically say that degree is the same degree that each side of the pyramid goes down from the point and down. So it's just kind of, it's very interesting. It's curious. It's like, where do they get all this stuff? And the fact that lines up with the moon. The moon.
Made it.
Yeah.
Did it. Attention, frontier passenger, last name